What's good, everybody? RJ Sheldon here, back with another episode of Spartan Dogs. As you see on the screen here, my good brother Tony Lippett, aka Lip. What's happening, partner?
What's happening with it? What's good?
If this is your first time here on this episode, we strictly talk about Michigan sports. That is the Detroit Lions, the Detroit Tigers, Detroit Pistons, Michigan State football, and also we have a Speak On It section, where we go ahead and talk about things outside of Michigan sports. But let's go ahead and hop right into the Detroit Lions. The schedule has came out for the 2025 season. Let me go ahead and just rattle off here through the weeks of what opponents they face. And my good brother Lip, obviously, you can go ahead and chime in, and I will as well. Week 1 at Green Bay. Week 2, Chicago Bears. Week 3, Baltimore Ravens. Week 4, Cleveland Browns. Week 5, Cincinnati Bengals. Week 6, Kansas City Chiefs. Week 7, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Week 8, that is a bye week, which kind of lands, you would want it later, but at least, halfway, if not, almost 3/4 of the way through the season. Week 9, Minnesota Vikings. Week 10, Washington Commanders. Week 11, you got the Philadelphia Eagles. Week 12, New York Giants. Week 13, Green Bay Packers. Week 14, Dallas Cowboys. Week 15, Los Angeles Rams. Week 16, Pittsburgh Steelers. Week 17, Minnesota Vikings. And the last week, Week 18, they face the Chicago Bears. God damn, that is a schedule. That is a competitive schedule right there, as I've went ahead and read it off. But talk to me a little bit about this with your Detroit Lions, man.
It's gonna be a tough schedule, man. A very tough schedule, to be honest. A lot of Pro Bowl quarterbacks, a lot of great playoff teams. I mean, they play the Packers, play the Ravens, they play the Bengals. Well, you never know how the Bengals gonna be, but they still have Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. They have those guys. And they play the Chiefs. So they at Green Bay, at the Ravens, at the Bengals, at the Chiefs, at the Commanders, at the Eagles, at the Rams. Ooh, that's a lot. That's a tough road schedule right there. We gonna see what they gonna do this year. I don't expect for them to win 13 games in a row this year at all. I don't expect them to win 10 games in a row this year. It's gonna be different. Schedule was tougher. You're playing against better competition. You're also gonna be missing some pieces. Obviously, the offense coordinator and defense coordinator went on to become head coaches. So there's going to be new verbiage and new expectations within the building with the new offense coordinator and new defense coordinator. And they have a challenge out for them this year. It's going to be tough. And right off the back, it's kind of tough. I mean, we're being honest. At the Packers, the first game, that's going to be tough, depending on which Jordan Love you're going to get. Just playing in Lambeau, period, is going to be tough. I would rather them play in Lambeau late in the season than early in the season, though. I don't like how the Lions be getting off and playing all these dome games all year. Like, they don't really be having no cold games no more because they be all playing. They just play a lot of in domes. It don't matter. I don't like that as much, though. But this road schedule is tough, man. This road schedule is tough. The home schedule is tough. The opponents is tough. And obviously the division play going to be better with the Bears having, a little bit more expectation now. Caleb Williams, second year. Let's see the jump that he take. J.J. McCartney and the Vikings. Let's see how they going to do it. They paid a lot of guys on that defense and added a lot to that defense as well. And they was already a really good defense through and through. So, and then the Packers, like what type of jump they going to take with Jordan Love, and they drafted a wide receiver in the first round, and, the defense being a younger defense, we're going to see how they going to play, the jumps that they going to make. So the division got tougher and their schedule got tougher. So I'm excited to see how they play, because that's what happens when you're one of the best teams. You got to be able to go out there and show it no matter what, year-to-year basis. So this is going to be the most challenging year for the Detroit Lions in quite a few years since they started their, I'm not going to say dominance, but, really good play, playoff football, playoff team for the last few years. This is going to be a tougher schedule yet today. So, hey, man, we're going to see if them Lions going to roar this year, man. I'm excited to see what goes on.
No, right with you. I can't wait to, just in general, football is right around the corner, I feel, for me. Obviously, we've both been in it But now, obviously, just from a fan perspective, it's just always nice when we can go ahead and know that football is on the horizon. This is kind of the sweet spot where we're now getting the NBA playoffs. We're getting the Eastern and Western Conference playoffs, and we'll talk about here later in the show. Then we start to go ahead and see the schedules come out, see the teams being built, seeing guys that they've brought in. I just think another year of where this NFC North is going to be a really good division, and there's going to be a lot of good games because of just the talent within those four teams of what the lineups have been. And this is one of them with the Lions. And I just like to piggyback on what you said with the obviously new faces and new verbiage when it comes to obviously offense and defense. How is that going to shake out? We'll shall see. But I think with what they have talent-wise, I think they'll definitely be able to get that going. We're almost here, man. We are almost here. So we're definitely going to be on top of that with the Lions and all that good stuff. So let's move on over to the Detroit Tigers. Still the first in their division, 31-17. They did lose to the Cardinals 11-4. They do face them today, and they face them tomorrow. So hopefully they can go ahead and get two back. But they still, with that record, first in the American League Central, and I think they might be third with all in MLB, as I saw last time. They're number one still?
They're number one. The Phillies is 29-18.
Shit.
That's the National League. So the Phillies are 29-18, and they the second best team, and the Tigers are 31-17. So, hey man, how we rocking over here, man. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, 17. You know what's crazy? And this is like baseball wise, right? Like 17-15 at home. Like every time that you come to Detroit, like you're losing. That's a crazy stat for having a home. I mean, you're winning 85% of your games. So shout out to the Tigers, man. Hopefully they keep that going. But I think their team that they got, they're built well, especially what they did last year, overcoming. I think they had to win out like 8 games, go ahead and get into the playoffs. Did there some damage last year in the playoffs as well. So shout out to the Tigers, man. Shout out to the Tigers. Short and sweet, obviously, with the Michigan stuff, because really kind of we're at the low period right now, but it'll definitely ramp up when football starts, and we'll obviously keep tabs on the Tigers. Eastern Western Conference Finals, man. They're set. Obviously, Eastern Conference, we go ahead. We got the Pacers versus the Knicks. And then tonight, we go ahead and have the Minnesota Timberwolves versus the OKC Thunder. But before we get into that, let's talk about last week and last weekend. Game 6, obviously, between the Thunder and the Nuggets. Game 7. My bad. Getting it all messed up here. The Thunder went and took care of business, 125-93. And the New York Knicks went ahead and took care of the Celtics, 119-81. I think which we can go ahead and start first on. Let's go ahead and talk about the Knicks and Celtics before we head on over to the Thunder and Nuggets. Knicks did what they needed to do. I mean, Brunson has been incredible. Their team has been playing as a cohesive unit. I mean, you got Bridges, 22 points. You got Brunson, 23 points. You got Karl-Anthony Towns, 21. Anunoby, 23. Josh Hart, 10 points, 11 rebounds, 11 assists. They are a cohesive unit, man, and they deserve to go ahead and be in this Eastern Conference Finals because they've played tough, fundamentally sound basketball, and they just make plays and make shots. Celtics, Jaylen Brown, brother, I don't give two shits about, what they're down somebody or, you go ahead and say that, nah, bro, you should have picked up the slack and you didn't, and this is definitely noted. Talk to me a little bit about this game, as you portray it to be.
I mean, it was what it was. I mean, before this series started, we said the Knicks was the most physical team. They were just more physical. I mean, the Celtics are what they are. They're a 3-point shooting team. And if that's not falling, they don't have anybody that's going to consistently get to the basket, get to the paint, break the defense down, and consistently do it. Like, put pressure on the defense. They're not a, drive and kick type of 3-point shooter. They are swing. So they ain't got nobody that's going to really slash in the middle and make everybody collapse in. to kick the ball out. That's not the 3-point shots they shooting. They just swing, swing. Whoever got the open shot gonna shoot open three, or come off the pick and roll, shoot open three, or sidestep open three. And when that's not falling, you have to change the way you play. You start to get a little bit more skeptical about shooting those shots when you're down, especially when you're down 0-2 and you have home court advantage. When you go 25 for 100 in your first 2 games in 3-pointers, and that's 25%, like, you start to, especially at home, and you lose those games. I mean, shooters shoot best at home. So for you to go 25 and 100 and then lose those both games where you was up by 20 points in both of those games, psychologically, I think they was cooked at that time. Like, yeah, you're going to go in there and get game 3. Yeah, yep. But game 4, it wasn't a guarantee they was going to get game 4. Even with Tatum going down, I think they was going to lose before Tatum. Tatum was having a game, but they were still down by double digits, down by 9 points. Like, the lead, it never really got super close. Like, but obviously the NBA and 15-point lead can be diminished in under 2 minutes, you feel me? But that just wasn't the brand of basketball that I seen the Celtics playing at that time. And to game 6, I mean, Knicks just took care of business. I don't think Jaylen Brown was the number one option. So I think he played to how he was supposed to play. First off, he fouled out. He had 32 minutes, 20 points. He was 8 for 20, 3 for 9 from the 3-point line. Got to the free throw line one time. Like, one time. He was 1 for 2. But just a few games ago, he was just saying he's the best attacker to the basket in the NBA. But that comes with being able to manipulate the defense and get fouls. You feel me? Get in the paint, get and ones, slow the game down. But that's not their game. I think they playing to the strength of all the role players and not their starting players. You get what I'm saying? Like, they're playing to the strength of where Derek White can shoot 15 3-pointers a game. They're playing to the strength. Like, just imagine all these 3-point shots that Pritchard and White and Hauser and Drew Holiday and Al Horford have shot this season. Some of those shots could have been shots where Jaylen Brown has been able to create his offense, have the ball more in his hands so he can do more. So maybe he could have been ready for this opportunity. But he had 7 turnovers. You feel me? 7 turnovers and 6 fouls. And he was a minus 30. So he wasn't ready for that. Like I said, I don't think he's the number one option. And this was a chance for him to show it, you know? He was the finals MVP last year, and, you know, he wasn't able to get to a game 7 without – and it was 4 games. 4 games you had Tatum, and now you only got, 3 games. You had a chance to go 2-1 in those 3 games and, put the team on your back and go out there and ball out. But he didn't, and it didn't permeate through the entire team. So I like the Knicks. Knicks did their thing. They fought hard. Jalen Brunson is playing. I think he's the best player in the playoffs so far. Jalen Brunson is player number 1 in the playoffs at this moment. Clutch, timely shots, grit, grind, playmaking ability, energy flowing through his whole team. Like, they all playing with this spark. And you usually in the playoffs, especially at this time, you usually can see the team that just playing with, like, a very aggressive amount of confidence, even from guys that you didn't expect it from. Like, Mikal Bridges is playing really damn good right now. Like, he be on and off like his whole career kind of, but right now he's thriving in his system. You can just tell, like, they getting hot at the right time. So I like what I'm seeing from the Knicks, man. Celtics, I think that window has closed, but it'd be good to see the Knicks in the finals, man. We're gonna see how this work out.
Can't wait. And then let's move on over to the Nuggets versus Thunder. Thunder obviously took care of that one, 125-93. Man, if this OKC team, SGA plus 32, Williams 35, Holmgren 34, Caruso 40, who was a huge piece of locking down Jokic and making things tough on him on the offensive side. Wiggins plus 19, Wallace 38. And when I'm saying these numbers, the plus and minuses, I mean, that right there is showing that those guys played very efficient basketball on both ends. doing what they needed to do, scoring at timely times. But the big piece here is SGA with 35, 3 points, 4 rebounds, 3 steals, 1 block, shooting 63% from the field. Game that you need your superstars to show up. He showed up and did what he needed to do. And just how you talked about the energy flowing through the team, as you mentioned with Brunson, this is the same thing that SGA did that night and made a statement that, hey, listen, like, this Nuggets little run dynasty that you guys think is going on and that Jokic is the best player and this, that, and the third. We talk about regular season and him doing things that we've never seen before. We've seen it before. He put that to rest. So talk to me about, realistically, right now for the Nuggets, what it's looking like, because me and you both know that it ain't looking good. It's not looking good at all for the Denver Nuggets, because I think if anything of them winning anything, it has closed. What was the date? May 18th.
Yeah, I mean, I would say, they played 7 games. Joker had 42 points in the first game, 17 in the second game, 20 in game 3, 27 in game 4, 44 in game 5, 29 in game 6, and 20 in game 7. There's no game in this. He didn't have over 8 assists in neither one of these games. Neither one of them. They rattled him. He wasn't dominant. 6 for 16, 8 for 25, 7 for 22. And in the last game, in game 7, you take 9 shots? He was 5 for 9. 20 points in a game 7. It's the second year in a row that he's lost a game 7 in the second round. Second year in a row. So we have to judge. We not like it's. I think at this point now we're past the Joker numbers talk. Like it get to a certain point in your career where we know you can do numbers. We know you can score points. We know you can get assists. But now it's to the point where is that translating to wins? Are you in conference finals often? Are you in the finals? Or are you getting put out early? You can't tell me he didn't have no help. They just didn't show up. Jamal Murray, 13 points in a game 7. Game 7. Gordon tried to play, but he was hurt. Ended up having 11 rebounds and 8 points on a bum grade 2, hamstring. Michael Porter Jr., oh man, that boy was doing bad. He was non-existent damn near this whole series, but that's how it is. I always said it this whole year. I'm like, bro, they don't have a bench. And if you don't have a bench, guys are going to get tired because you're going to expect more from them. So now you got guys that's used to playing 35 minutes a night, maybe 33 minutes a night. Now they got to play 42 minutes a night because you ain't putting nobody in on the bench. You putting Russ in, but that ain't a guaranteed nothing that you're going to get from that. And the next guy you're going to put in is a guy that haven't played like that this whole season. And that's Strother and PJ Watson, or I don't know if his name PJ, but Watson, he was on and off this year. He was hurt. He never really played a lot this year anyway, so he don't have no rhythm in playing. And those are the guys that you bringing in come off the bench, and they're not adding nothing. They're not adding nothing substantial to come in to extend the lead or cut the lead down. They're not doing that. They still trying to find their way and find what type of player they are. And Joker at a time in his career where he don't need guys like that. You feel me? And I think he played bad, though, this series. And people not going to talk about it, but I think Joker played bad. He did so much flopping. He been flopping the entire playoffs. So much flopping. His defense is terrible, but they don't talk about that. Boy, drop coverage, all that. When they come out that pick and roll, and he can't even jump towards the rapper. He can get all the rebounds on this end, but on this end, he can't jump and try to block it. I've never seen him block a shot, honestly. That's wild. He fooled down on the defensive end off the pick and roll. Then you got Jamal Murray, like he's non-existent. That's why I be saying that whole Jamal Murray shit. I don't be feeling that because they be when he's playing terrible or he's not showing up, they don't say nothing. But when he have a game versus the Lakers where he do something, it's like, oh my God, he's the best fourth quarter player. And I'm like, bro, stop, bro. He not. I would trade if I'm them because I feel like they can't repeat this. Like they can't run this back. They have to trade Michael Porter Jr. and Jamal Murray. They have to bring in more athleticism around Joker because they don't have athleticism. None, for real. And Christian Brown gonna want some money Do you have enough to pay him? He might be somewhere else too. Like, do you want to pay this? You feel me? Like, it's so many. Like, we at that part of Joker's career where like people is getting paid, contracts is being up, and it's like, okay, what you gonna do with the next step of your career? Do you love playing in Denver? They just fired the coach. Are you cool with the next coach that's gonna come in? Are you cool with the direction of the program? Who do you want to play with? Like, all of these questions is now that we're gonna be talked about. So we're gonna see more of the business side with Joker now in the NBA. But I think Thunder just did their thing, man. They was the better team. A game 7 on your home court, that's what you play for. That's what you play for in the regular season. You feel me? The regular season does matter. I know a lot of people be like, oh man, regular season don't matter, season don't matter. Yes, it do, because if you get to that game 7, first off, it's a game 7. So that means you can play 6 tough games. And now you got a game 7 on the opposite team floor if you're the away team. That's going to be tough to walk in there and keep your foot on their neck the whole game and outplay them the whole game in a game 7 at their own court. And that's tough to do. I mean, Ant did it to them last year in their own court. It's just funny how, man, hey, Joker just getting beaten these game 7s, bro. They ain't nobody gonna talk about it because he got a couple numbers. But like I said, I think this is a bad performance for him. This entire playoffs too. The entire playoff, I think this was a bad look for him. We shall see. I don't think the Nuggets can run it back though. But we're gonna see. Shout out to the Thunder. They do their thing.
It's just crazy to see how the NBA coddles Jokic from a media standpoint. From people that you go ahead and watch on ESPN, Fox, saying that he's the best player to ever touch a basketball. It just baffles me because not one great player, if it's KD, LeBron, anything, Kyrie, they would have never went ahead and had this type of output in a game 7, period. Point blank. You can go ahead and check. I don't even have the stats in front of me, and I don't need the stats because I've seen it with my own eyes throughout my whole lifetime. When there's pressure on the line, those 3 guys that I've mentioned have never went ahead and did such things as Jokic just did on a game 7. Let alone a whole series, let alone a whole career of, we talk about numbers, but Bron didn't have a team for all them times in Cleveland, really all them times through about half, I don't know, maybe say his whole career, maybe not his whole career. But the thing that I'm saying is that LeBron would have never done what he did in a game 7. And now it makes, when LeBron was consistently in finals, that in Western Conference Finals, getting into finals, that just makes this more clear that LeBron is the best player in the NBA. And that we need to go ahead and let that narrative of Jokic being the guy next up, that he's going to be the best basketball player when LeBron's gone, all that, we need to go ahead and dimmer that down. I understand the numbers and stuff, but like you said, we can't be going on numbers no more. What are you doing for your team? And LeBron was doing things for his team for a long time. So there's a long stretch between all these players right now and LeBron. And I stand very firm on that because this performance, and this is especially like, I was very, very disappointed because it's like, bro, you want to be labeled as one of the best players in the NBA and you do this, and then you go ahead and go on to press conference talking about, I'm gonna go back to my hometown and have a beer and shit like that. Like, bro, get the hell out of here, bro. Like, come on, bro. Like, that just shows me that you just really don't care, and that's cool. This is the podcast where if you cool, we are cool if you being cool. If you just want to go ahead and do what you want to do with that. So, but we gonna keep it facts though on here as well. Like, come on, bro. I don't see how that, doesn't motivate you to go ahead and wanting to get to the next level of your career to where, like, all right, I want to be consistently in Western Conference Finals. Because realistically, the hype that you were getting from the regular season coming all into the playoffs,
Yeah,
people had you beating the OKC, bro. People had you beating OKC. Some people were single-handedly, like game 5, game 6. So you got to understand, like, you may not see where you're at right now. Like, you could just go out there hooping, things like that. But no, brother, I'm sorry. I can't rock with you in what you did with this. And it's a really long period of time that you have to go ahead and gain for you for me to go ahead and say that you're the best player in the NBA. Because you can't be doing shit like this, bro. You can't be doing like this at all. Like, it's going to be interesting to see when the MVP comes out. I think SGA's got it. But if it's like SGA, Jokic, Giannis, I'm going to be pissed. Like, I would rather have Giannis in front of Jokic. And that's another conversation, too, that I'm going to get in as well on here. Jokic or Giannis, who would you take? Obviously, it's a long spiel in regular season, but I don't know. But all in all, NBA needs to stop Colin Jokic, and his performance of what he did in this series just shows to me all I need to know about him. So,
Yeah.
We shall see. Disappointing, though. But move on. Obviously, today is the start of the Western Conference Finals. Timberwolves versus OKC. OKC is at home. Anthony Edwards versus SGA. We've talked about on here. The leaders of the new school are going to head and cementing something in this year's NBA, turning to where it's going to be maybe one of these two superstars within the Western Conference, or maybe in the East where we got Brunson and Halliburton kind of making a new way. But let's talk about this here. What are some things that you think about this series? Even you can go ahead and pick who you think is going to win this series. This is going to be great basketball. I think this one tonight is going to be a good matchup. Got young talent, and across the board for lineups, I think they even out very well. So those one-on-one battles between each position are going to be very key in this series. Talk to me about it.
I would say for Minnesota, I think it's going to be a great series. I mean, it's leader of the new school. None of these guys. A fun fact: I don't think none of these guys from any of these rosters have ever won a championship. So there will be a new champion, like a first-time new champion for all of these guys, like all the starters. If I'm not mistaken, most of the bench players, they never been to the finals and never especially won a finals. I don't think nobody. So we literally in the introduction of the new school. But I remember last year Minnesota, they said they ran out of gas. Last year they ended up losing the first two games at home, if I'm not mistaken. Dallas came and beat them the first. Dallas came because Dallas beat them in 5 last year in the Western Conference Finals. And Dallas was the away team. So Dallas only played 2 games at home, and they beat them in 5 games. But I know it was Anton about, he ran out of gas. So let's see how he approaches this, And they've been off. They've been off for a few days. Like they beat the Warriors like damn near like last Tuesday or Wednesday or whatever it was. They beat them a few days ago. So they've been off for a nice little 5 to 6 days. And that's great in the playoffs. So I'm guessing they will be fresh, but I don't know if they're going to be locked in. I think the inconsistencies that the Timberwolves showcase and have showcased throughout this playoff series, throughout this playoffs, I think that is going to cause them to lose this playoff series. I think Thunder going to take care of business at home. I think it's going to go back to Minnesota 2-0 Thunder. And I think Thunder going to get one of those games in Minnesota. And then I think it's probably going to be over in 5. I think like 6. I don't think this go to Game 7. But I wouldn't be surprised if it go to Game 7. But I don't think it's going to go to Game 7. I really don't think it's going to go to Game 6. I think it's going to be over in 5. Thunder is the number 1 seed for a reason. They've been playing well. SGA has his first really big series that he won against Denver this past series. That was like his first really big series. Now he have to do it again, though, because now he got a young stud, that's preferably the face of the league, and he's unstoppable on his end, but they got bodies to throw at him. You got Shea, you got Lou Dort, you got Caruso, you got Wallace, you got Jalen Williams, and then you got in the paint, you got Chet and Hardenstein, and then the other Williams cat off the bench. Like, you got bodies. And one thing I see about this Thunder team is that they know their roles, bro. Like, ain't nobody out there playing like they shouldn't be playing. Like, they doing exactly what they need to be doing at the time. And it don't look like they straining too much. You feel me? Like, it don't look like they just breaking down or none of that. You feel me? Like, they look like they played winning basketball all year. And at times in this playoffs, Minnesota looked like they a 6 seed. Like, even with the Warriors without Steph, like some of those games, like they was close, and you leave room for them to lose. Like they leave room to lose. And I don't think Thunder do. I think Thunder is aggressive and they at you all like
My bad.
every game
brother.
or whatever. So I got the Thunder winning. Like I said, I got Thunder winning in 5, if not 6. I think it's gonna be 5 though. I think SGA is gonna get the MVP in Game 1 tonight. They're gonna announce it probably like halftime. I mean, not halftime. The pregame show inside the NBA. They're gonna do it there. And pregame, they're gonna give him his little acknowledgement, and he gonna proceed to go out there and drop 30 plus, and they gonna win at home because that's what they should do. But I think Ant gonna show out, but I just don't think it's gonna be enough. Key player in this series, which he's been probably one of the most underrated guys coming into this playoff series, and he's stepped up a lot. I would say Julius Randle. Like, he been balling this whole playoff, so he will be X factor. But even him still getting his, I still don't think they have enough to beat the Thunder. Like I said, the Thunder, the one, and there's no other 1 seed in the playoffs. There's no other 2 seed in the playoffs. So there's a 1 seed, a 3 seed, a 4 seed, and a 6 seed. So they've been the best team all year. I expect for them to go and win it all. That's just how I see it. But I got the Thunder in 5.
No, that's real. What you said. I actually got Timberwolves in 6. That's what I went ahead and thought. Kind of my process of thinking how this is going to go. As you said, that obviously Anthony Edwards is going to have a lot of bodies throwing at him in regards to defensive play. I mean, it's the same thing with SGA. SGA is going to go have to get Jaden Daniels on him, maybe majority of the time, especially Anthony Edwards. But we've all seen, when he had to guard Kyrie back then, how kind of that took off. But it's the playoffs. Alexander Walker, I think it's his cousin, or I don't know. They're related, I think. Yep, they're related.
Yeah, I think they're cousins.
He's going to go ahead and get on him as well. DiVincenzo. So, this is another team as well that's loaded with players. Again, I'm totally with you. They are so inconsistent when it comes to playing games that, they'll be up 30 or up whatever and then get lackadaisical in the third quarter. Then it gets cut down to 20. Then it gets cut down to 10. And all of a sudden now in the fourth quarter, you're rolling in and you're only up by 3. So I think the big thing with the Timberwolves is Chris Finchie, the head coach, and making sure that he can go ahead and manage leads, making sure that the right plays to go ahead and start, say they go ahead on a 12-8 or say a 13-3 run, OKC, that he comes out, calls timeout, that he has a play where they get a buck or they get a foul, because we all know OKC is very coached very well with Mark. What's his name? The head coach for the OKC.
I don't know how to say his name. I know you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about, though. People know what we're talking about. But he makes adjustments on the fly very well. So I think the head coaching is going to be a big thing as well. Obviously, players got to make plays, but those timely coaching moments are going to be huge with Minnesota Timberwolves, because I've seen with my own eyes that be horrific.
Yeah.
Horrific, in previous years. So it's going to be exciting, man. I can't wait. Tonight, 7:30 p.m., it's going down. We're going to see leaders of the new school do what they need to do, and I cannot wait to watch tonight.
The Timberwolves are the only team that beat the Thunder 2 times this year.
Ooh.
They played February 13th, and they lost. So that was like the Thursday right before the All-Star break. That was like right before the All-Star break. And the Timberwolves beat them. And then they came back and played on February 3rd and the 24th in a back-to-back. The first game, the Thunder won, and then the next day, OKC won. And they both won on the road. So OKC won in Minnesota, and then the next day they traveled back to OKC, and Timberwolves beat them in overtime in OKC. And that was like a little rivalry right there, right out of All-Star break because they played each other like back-to-back days and they was going at it. And I think that was a time where he said, like, man, Ant said, man, I think I'm better than Luka and Shea. You feel me? I think I'm the best. I think I'm better than all of them. So that young, flashy power, that's gonna be a thing that we see right now for sure. So we're gonna see which Warrior lasts for real.
And then obviously on Wednesday we have the Indiana Pacers versus the New York Knicks. God, we're going back into time with the good Reggie Miller days, Julius Erving days when it was the Indiana Pacers versus the New York Knicks. Spike, the whole Garden's going to be going crazy, as you saw when they went in to beat Boston. I mean, it looked like it's crazy, a typical New York situation. Talk to me about this one, man. This is going to be another good game. Brunson versus Halliburton, and obviously all the key pieces that they have around them. Just as we said here with the Western Conference Finals, the teams, they match up well. But I can't wait to see Brunson and Halliburton go at it. I can't wait to see Brunson in this one, to be honest with you. I think the Knicks get this one. I think the Knicks go ahead and get into the finals. I don't know what game. If you want on this game, they go ahead and close. I say they go ahead and this one goes to 6 as well. I think granted, all these playoff games are going to be to the wire every game, I feel. There might be like game one where they might go ahead and win by like double digits, but then after that, just to kind of get into things, tight games. But I think it's going to be just tight games all around. I don't think it's going to be where it's going to be a blowout. Obviously, the Indiana Pacers love to go up and down the court and put points up, pick you up full court, things like that. I just think the Knicks are gonna wear that down. I just like what they're doing, man. I think that they're a team that they're clicking at the right time. They know what they need to do, and I got them. But that game 2 on Wednesday is going to be live. Talk to me about this game and this series from your perspective.
I think these are two of the hottest teams that's been in the playoffs so far. I think the Knicks have been really hot. I think I think the Pacers have been hot as well. And I think both of them are clicking at the same time. They both primarily are led by like one star. Obviously, Cat is a star. Halliburton is a star. He's not a superstar, but Brunson is damn near on superstar status. And then you just have a deep, well-rounded team. Like, they have an identity on both. I'm talking about both teams, how they want to play. One team is fast, speed, finesse, passing the ball, everybody touch the ball, cutting to the basket, defense, full court press. That's the Pacers. And then over here, you get the Knicks. You got playmaking ability, big shots being made by Brunson. You got Cat that can take over games and shoot 40-foot three-pointers. Anunoby has been knocking down three-pointers this playoffs, playing well. Josh Hart, just a all-around utility guy, and Mikal Bridges have shown flashes where he can score 14 in the fourth quarter and in a playoff game that you need to win. So they're pretty deep. With that being said, I have the Knicks winning. I think this goes to 7. I know it's going to be tough playing in New York for sure these first 2 games. But even if New York go up 2, it's going to be tough playing in Indy as well. Indy be turned. So, obviously you don't want to be down 0-2, but the playoffs really start when a road team loses. When a road team wins. So if you just win your first 2 home games, and then they go back and win their next 2 home games, we back where we started at. So, in which I think that is going to happen. I think at the end of 4 games, it's going to be 2-2. And then it's the best of 3. I would love to see this go Game 7, a Game 7 in the Garden, to get to the finals. Ooh-wee. You thought the fans in New York was tripping last week, boy. Oh, they going to be tripping if they win that Game 7 in New York to beat the Pacers, especially with all the history that them 2 franchises have against each other and the fighting. And I know the highlight tape for this series is going to be crazy. This is going to be live. But I like the Pacers too, man. They hot. Halliburton playing well. Nembhard, Neesmith, Miles Turner, Ben Mathurin, Pascal Siakam, which was a great addition to this team because I didn't think it was going to fit at first, but he brought versatility in there. He brought playmaking, rebounding, defense, shot making. Like, he fit right in with this team. Like, it didn't take nothing away from Tyrese Halliburton, and it put Pascal Siakam where he wants to be at. Because with the Raptors, he was the best player on the team, and he's not a best player on the team type of player, honestly. So I think this is going to be fireworks. This series, boy, I wouldn't be surprised. Boy, it's going to be fighting. It's going to be technicals, all type of shit going on. Because, you know, they both be talking and talking and talking and talking. Both of the teams, especially the Pacers. But I'm excited to see this series, man. Like I said, I got it going to Game 7. And I got the Knicks winning in Game 7.
Well, I figured that I got you on that. And it's Patrick Ewing, excuse me, not who I said earlier. I'm getting my names confused. Sorry on here that I
Boy, that boy
confused my
said
names.
Julius
Very, very horribly. So let me go ahead and rewind what I'm trying to say here. Patrick Ewing, Charles Oakley, John Stockton, Doc Rivers, who I can't stand. That era. But let's go ahead and see just some previous history here when they have met in the Eastern Conference Finals. 1994, the Knicks won that 4-3. 1999, the Knicks won that 4-2. And 2000, Pacers won that 4-2. And this year is to be announced. So as we see here, the Knicks are 2-1 when these two teams are in the Eastern Conference Finals. Let's go ahead and see what goes down in 2025. Like you said, complete fireworks, all that good stuff. This is why you watch right now. This is the best going on, people. Imano. They went ahead and took care of what they needed to take care of in their respective conferences. Now they go ahead and get it done and then get themselves in the finals, and then we crown our champions. So what else is there, man? What else have you been wanting to go ahead and talk about, man, within the sports world? Because we are coming to an end with what we got going on. But give me a hot take. Something that just, I don't know. You're always a guy that has knowledge, I feel. Besides, obviously, sports.
I'm calling it right now. Nah, I tweeted it. Nah, I'm saying it in live. For this year's Super Bowl, where's the Super Bowl? I forgot where it's at. Wherever it's at.
I think.
Oh, San Francisco, okay. This
year's
year's Super Bowl opponents will be the Los Angeles Rams versus the Baltimore Ravens. And I got the Rams winning it all. It's crazy. Crazy that I just said that. I got the Rams winning it all. Cause you know I'm going for Lamar. He get to that boy. I ain't playing. You know I'm going for Lamar. But I think, man, just having Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams and Kyron Williams and Matt Stafford and Bowers and Higsby and the young defense with them defensive linemen, them ends, and the secondary being second, third year guys back there, and Sean McVay, especially in the NFC where it's not as strong as the AFC. And I think the Rams are going to win their division for sure. I think they're going to win their division. They're either going to be 5-1 or 6-0 in their division. They beating the Cardinals, they beating the Seahawks, and I got them beating the 49ers twice. So they're going to lead their division. They're going to win some big games throughout this whole year. And they're going to be the 1 seed in the NFC. And it's going to come through LA.
Excuse me.
And Sean McVay going to be cooking shit up. They're going to have to play 2 games. They're going to have to play not the wild card weekend because they have a bye week. Then they play the semifinals and they play the NFC Championship all in their own backyard with Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams and Matt Stafford. Matt Stafford might win it all and walk away like, all right, I'm done now. I'm done. But he might not. He probably be like, nah, fuck that. I'm coming back. But you want to talk about a storybook ending, I feel like Sean McVay is, if it wasn't snowing in Philly last year, yeah. So I got the Rams versus the Ravens. And I'm gonna take the Rams, but I'm going for the Ravens though. But yeah, that's my take in May of 2025 prior to this season on who gonna be the 2026 Super Bowl champions and the matchup. That's my take right there.
I remember when he went ahead and, well, we've talked about this previously, but I like that take as well. I have Matthew Stafford as a dark horse to win MVP this year. The more and more that I look at it, and the more and more that it just makes sense with what he has. I mean, they could literally have a team that can score every time they touch the ball. Any position, any time that they're more likely to come up with 7 than they are coming up with 3. Obviously, that's a name of the game. You want to score touchdowns. But, like, their margin and percentage of scoring touchdowns are going to be very high this year because of what they had and what you just named. Matthew Stafford is going to be, he's my dark horse to win MVP. And Darnold's going to go ahead and come back, like, week 16 and go ahead and get himself another. Is it Aaron Darnold? No. Is it Aaron Darnold?
Aaron Donald?
Yeah. Am I getting his name wrong too? Back? Oh yeah. Absolutely. Why not?
Hold on, so say that again.
I say that Aaron Darnold is gonna go ahead and come back like week 16. McVay gonna give him a call and be like, hey.
For the Rams?
Huh? Yeah, for the Rams.
He's gonna come back to the Rams?
Yeah, McVay gonna give him a call and be like, hey brother, like you wanna rewind this back? Like you wanna we got a home for you. You've always had a home here. You always had a home with me. I've never had a problem with you. Why not go ahead and get another one? And I ain't gonna lie to you, if I'm Aaron Donald, man, I'm on that ship immediately. If they're playing the way they need, I'll be on the ship right now, to be honest. Because he don't have to go ahead and play crazy snaps. He don't have to play crazy snaps. We'll see, though. But I like that, though. The Rams vs. Ravens is very, very, very high on them being in the Super Bowl.
What you think about the 49ers signing Brock Purdy? You think that was the right decision? The amount, he got, 5-year extension for $265, which placed him at $53 million a year. I think that's like the 7th or 8th highest quarterback. I think he right there with like Jared Goff, Jordan Love. He right in the middle of them, like right by them. You think that was the right thing to do as far as organizationally, or do you think that will, like, just what do you think about it? What do you think about the move to sign him to that extension right now? No tag, no franchise tag, no questions of franchise tag, no none of that. He just got paid right off the bat. He ain't have to go through shit, miss no training camp. He ain't have to do nothing. But what do you think about that?
2022, 13 TDs, 4 interceptions. 2023, 31 TDs, 11 interceptions. 2024, 20 TDs, 12 interceptions. Quarterback rating this past year was 96.1. They didn't make the playoffs last year. I think that they're going ahead and just settling on him being who he is. And that is just a guy that is what did I say last time? I think it was he's just a quarterback. He's just a quarterback. And I think, you already knew he was getting paid. They gave Tua how much money? They gave all these guys money now. Like, that's just what it is. Like, do I think that he's worth all that from his play? He had one good season. No. I would have went ahead and did not guaranteed a whole bunch of years. Like, I would at least put a franchise tag on him to go ahead and show me that he can do what he is capable of doing. But I think it's a little outrageous that you said that he was at the 5th highest paid quarterback or top 5?
No, he's the 7th.
He's the 7th.
Yeah.
So for anyone that sees that and he's getting paid like that, to be paid top 7 money and you're not even a top 10 quarterback, maybe not like flirting with top 15. In my opinion, I would have never went ahead and did what they did. I would have went ahead and put a franchise tag on him, have him prove what he needs to go ahead and show me to be one of those quarterbacks that are a top 10 paid quarterback. I would have never done that. I would have went ahead and put a franchise tag on him. But it's just crazy that he ain't really have to work for nothing, like you said. He just got like, yeah, this is our guy. We're good to go. Like, we're not going to go ahead and bring anyone else in. So did they settle? Probably. They're just hitting on that, maybe through that, 5 years was it that he signed for?
Mm-hmm.
That he just plays to his potential. It's nothing going to be anything crazy. He might have one or two more, years that he throws 31 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, but then has a 2015 year because who's on the roster that he can throw the ball to? And that's another thing with this team. We're talking about the 49ers as a whole. Who do they got?
They just extended Greg Kittle. They have, obviously, Christian McCaffrey. They have Brandon Ayuk, but he's going to be coming back from that injury. And then they got the receiver they drafted last year from Florida. Was it Eric Parcell? And then they got Jawan Jennings. He's like a security blanket. They love him out there. So, I mean, obviously Debo's gone. We got to see what this Eric do, how he, graduate within this offensive scheme, within this Kyle Shanahan scheme. Like, you got to see how he play. You got to see how Brandon, now you look when he come back. You feel me? Like, so
Yeah.
There's some factors that still ain't guaranteed yet. So, but we just gonna have to see how that turn out and play. But I like that take right there. Yeah, I don't really have nothing too much to say about it. I mean, they did what they did. They paid them, so it is what it is. But I definitely think, shit, I know CJ Stroud about to get super paid after this year.
That's what I'm like.
Oh my
it's
Lord.
just it's crazy to see. Like, I was on a golf course. My good brother Tony. Shout out to Tony, man. I got a great Tonys in my life, man. Shout out to the Tonys, man. He told me, he's like, bro, you wouldn't believe what Purdy just signed for. I'm like, bro, please don't say nothing crazy. And he read off what he had signed for. I damn near fell out the cart, bro. I'm like, so this is the standard this is the mark that we're setting at. A guy who went 6-11 last year, 4th in the NFC West, deserves this much amount of money from his play last year. Like, I don't want to see, like, I used to be one of those guys that you like look like previously, like years and years. Like, what'd you do last year? That's kind of where I'm at right now. Like, what did you do last year? How'd you play last year? Because nobody really gives a shit about what you did those previous years. They want to know what you did last year. And your football team going 6-11, and then you playing like just an average player. I mean, 10th in total yards, 15th in total TDs, 4th in total interceptions, QB rating 96.1. Yikes. And it's not going to be any more easier. Like, your team is getting old. I mean, Christian McCaffrey had calf problems. Who knows what that's going to lead into?
And I seen something else that said he had a no trade clause in his
Holy
contract.
Shit. No trade clause on top of the bread?
He on his Bradley Beal tip, boy. He said, y'all ain't hey, y'all ain't about to just do me like that. Fuck that. But he got all the cheese. I think he got like 190 guaranteed. But quarterbacks, they gonna get their cheese. Because if I'm not mistaken, I think Lamar up to get paid again, like I think he got probably like 2 years left on his contract. So he up. So he coming to the table. Hey, I need 65 a year.
Make
What
it
that
70.
That got 60. Hey,
Make it 70.
remember how y'all played with me before? Remember how y'all was playing with me, right? So, no team gonna want to pay him. Don't nobody want to send 2 first-round draft picks for him, and they don't know if he can play outside of Baltimore. All he did was win multiple MVPs after that. I need 70 a year. We ain't paying nobody else. I need 70. Because this team is nothing. This team, this franchise ain't nothing without Lamar. And he's still young. I think Lamar probably got about 5 to 6 more great years in him. He already had a Hall of Fame career right now. I need 70 a year. I need 300. I need 5-year, 300. And I need 275 guaranteed. Yeah. I need that. All that. But hey man, we're gonna see. Obviously the cap for the quarterback's gonna continue to go up, and that's just what it is. But like I said, I still got the 49ers missing the playoffs again this year. But I think they got the easiest schedule as well. In the NFL, they have the easiest schedule. So, I mean, if you miss the playoffs with the easiest damn schedule and you just paid your quarterback and you have the easiest schedule in the NFL, when I think easiest schedule, I think about what divisions you're going to play.
Yeah.
A division automatically pop in my mind. That's the NFC South. That's what the Falcons, Carolina, New Orleans, and Tampa Bay. That I know they playing that division. I know they playing that division. And then they probably playing AFC South. That's the Titans, the Jaguars, the Colts, and somebody. Who is it? The Texans. So I just named you all those teams. That's probably two teams that's gonna be good out of those 8 teams I just named. That's the Bucks, and we don't know if the Bucks gonna be that good. You don't know if the Bucks they might have caught up with Baker. Baker might not have one of those years this year. He might have one of those revert back type years. You feel me? They might have just adjusted to him, and then you got Houston. I'm thinking those 2 teams are probably the only playoff teams, worthy teams out of those. I'm sure they play those 2 conferences because those are to me are the. I'm not gonna say the weakest conference. I'm just saying most non-competitive conferences in the NFL on the AFC and NFC side. So I'm sure that those teams are on their schedule. So if they don't make the playoffs, that'd be like, whew. If they don't make the playoffs, oh my. That's why he got that no trade clause. He said, I don't care. I'm here. I'm in the Bay with it. Y'all gonna deal with me. But
man, no, for real. It's just crazy, man. Hopefully he performs, but I mean last year it ain't looking good. But with that, people, man, Lip, take us out, man.
Hey man, drink y'all water, man. Tune into these playoff games. They start tonight. The new school out there, man. We're gonna be about to crown a new champion. Obviously, they're gonna say this person's the best player in the world because that's what they always do. That's TV today. Oh my God, he's the best player in the world because he won the finals. Yeah, we're gonna do that again. It's gonna be a new champion this year. One of these franchises are gonna be a low market franchise. Besides the Knicks, the other 3 are low market franchises. So that'd be dope as well. But if the Knicks win the finals, oh my. If the Knicks win the finals, yeah, New York gonna be on fire for a good long time. New York gonna be on fire every day. But I'm excited to see it, man. I'm excited to see how these guys show up, and like we literally watching who's gonna take their game to the next level. Because nobody until this point with these last 4 teams, nobody has a record of taking it to that level.
Right.
Not right now. Maybe before the Eastern Conference Finals and West Conference Finals and the finals, but in with these remaining games, it's the first to 8. I want to see who's gonna be the first to 8. I want to see who's gonna take that crown and go in the off season feeling good. So I'm excited to watch these boys. I ain't gonna lie. I'm glad the Lakers are nigga on my goddamn nerves, but I'm excited to see these young boys go out there and do something they've been dreaming about their whole life. So I'm gonna be tuned in.
Make sure you go ahead and watch them games tonight and Wednesday, and I believe it's going to be every day with different teams now, I think, because now they're going to be going ahead and be playing them games back to back to back to back. So be locked in with that. Man, we will see y'all. Be kind, be nice. Do you. Peace out, everybody.
Peace.